Oh, that's so bright. No, no, thank you. Not that bright. That that even is a little bit too bright. That'll do. Bingo. And we're live. Technically, we've been live for 36 seconds, but now we're live. Actually, live. All right. Well, we got work to do. And so we're going to do work, but we're also going to do it while we're live. So here's the work that I have to do today, guys. Pasha taught a transit activation roughly 5 hours ago. And we have just entered into the gate of control, or the hunter and the huntress. And the earth is now in the gate of depth. 21.1, hunter, huntress, control. And then the gate of depth, gate 48. Both of them in the first line. So part of my role in the archive is to document and upload these transit activations that my partner does. Transit activations are sensory design drills that give people context somatically for what's going on in the neutrino stream. For those of you that aren't familiar, the neutrino stream is similar to the astrological transits. However, instead of looking at just the planets themselves, we're actually looking at the 64 hexagrams, the human genome sequence, and these freshly discovered particles called neutrinos that carry mass. They move through objects. They affect things on an atomic level. And it's a relatively new particle. And it's something that, again, science hasn't really created many theories around. But one of our theories, myself and Pasha, is that these neutrinos are going to actively condition us. So for instance, gate 21 is in transit. Gate 21 is all about the will to be in control. Gate 48, which is the earth transit, is all about the awareness of what has depth, or whether or not something has depth. These two forces together are conditioning us to have a lot of emphasis, compare our personalities, compare other personalities, other people's choices, our own choices, flavored by the question of, am I in control? Why am I not in control? Am I Are they not deep? Why are they so deep? Makes me feel insecure about my depth. And these conditioning forces, oftentimes people attempt to process mentally, right? Like they're reading the information about the transits, they're attempting to learn about the transits. Astrologically, this is a good time for this, this, and this. That's all fine. But what we're looking at is the actual somatic conditioning. So the class that Pasha did here today was all about the heart center, the physiology of the heart, and or the gallbladder or the stomach. The heart center encapsulates quite a bit of physiology, and the spleen, which is very much so tensile strength of the body, these fascial spiral layers. This stuff goes really deep. Anyway, my boy Pasha here is taught a class, and I am now going to edit that class and make it available for the people in the archive. Anyway, I don't know if you guys necessarily needed that preface, but there it was. If you got questions about life or human design or Reiki, feel free to fire it in there. I'm just going to be going back and forth, mostly doing editing, but occasionally I will come here and read some comments and things. Just want to let you know I've been struggling a lot with disconnection, and your sacred calibrations have helped so much through a breakup. Appreciate Ryan, much love, my friend. I love getting those kinds of reflections. I mean, I've got a lot going on in my life. Got 2 little girls, That's, I mean, that in itself is a lot. A business, handful of businesses, a partnership, friends, a life. Everyone's got a lot going on. So I just appreciate that. Do you have any more good practices for recentering the body? So we actually have a whole community, Ryan. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it. It's called the Archive, and we every twice a week we do live classes where we show people how to get into the body through the senses, through functional training. There are so many practices, and there are so many great practitioners out there, but for me and my buddy Pasha, there wasn't someone actively blending sensory, like the physical science stuff, with the stuff that is really fascinating to me and him, spirituality, human design in particular. Um, and so we created that community, we created that space, and it's a school community, it's a paid community. We have standard membership for $3 if you just want to come check it out, and we have a premium membership for $47 monthly, or $470 for the year. That gives you access to 2 live classes a week, our entire library and curriculum, and it's, again, radically underpriced compared to how valuable it actually is. But yeah, if you need grounding, come check it out. There's a 7-day free trial as well, so come check it out. Link is in my bio. You can also just look up the Archive at gotoschool.com and look up the Archive. You'll see us. Do you have some books you'd recommend for a better understanding of human design? Yes, I also taught a class that's also in the Archive. If you wanted to take a class with me, it's called Human Design 101, and it's a part of the membership for the Archive. So feel free to come check it out. You can learn a lot. I taught that, let's say, last couple months ago. I love human design, but human design without the body stuff is, a lot of the time, it's delusion. It's more narcissism. It's more bypassing. It's just more of the same stuff that people are attempting to get away from. Would you recommend a beginner in this whole thing? Yes, absolutely. Like you can literally know nothing about anything. Like you can be fighting an addiction, right? Never meditated a day in your life. You could know nothing at all. Spend time in the Archive, do the training, do the drills, and get so much benefit. It's kind of the whole point of it. Is like you could also have a lot of experience with all those things, come into the Archive and totally get your lid blown off. Because here's the thing, I've yet to meet any teachers. I've yet to meet any coaches that are training the way that we're training. And it's not a dig, it's just like Pasha and I have studied these things independently. Pasha studied more of the body stuff, I studied a lot of the energy stuff. And dude, we could not find something really satisfying, so we made it for ourselves. 1-3 mental projector here. Thank you for being here. You got it, guys. Feel free to ask questions. This is the live. I'm not gonna be able to get to it. I'm multitasking. This is challenging for me. I like challenging myself sometimes. Going live alone is sometimes challenging, but going live while I'm editing class is a whole nother thing. But yeah, again, if you have any questions, feel free to shoot them in here. Pretty quiet tonight, guys. Totally fine with it being quiet and chill. There's just usually more questions. I usually feel more important. Oh my God. Oh, good Lord. There's so much information. I'm brand new at this, so Don't feel bad about not knowing. That's very true. Rockin' Robin. Yeah, it's dude, there's an insane amount of information out there, period. Right? But when you look at how much we know about the body and how much we know about spirituality and energy, um, the intersection of those two is really wild. It's really wild. Um, but we do our best to like make it accessible. We do our best to make it make sense, right? Like one of the first things that you're going to do in the archive with us is start to get your eyes out of this locked position. So, right, getting into your peripheral awareness, getting into the edges of your range of motion, and then we're going to start by building a relationship with pressure, which is also incredibly important. Like if you don't have a relationship with pressure physically, probably your relationship with pressure energetically is not very good either. That's okay. Your concentration face is important too. Yeah, catch me, guys, because I tend to go here a lot, right? That's why I don't have anything to say, so much incoming. Yeah, I've always been told you have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so listen twice as much as you talk. Unless you're hosting live, then definitely talk, but also listen and read. I was introduced to human design at a grand opening for my friend's healing studio. And she had a friend there who just literally came up to me and was like, can I read your human design? I said, sure. And she read my human design, and I said, I don't understand any of this. And she said, well, just know that you're very special and your type is very rare. And I said, ooh, I like this. Because I always thought it was special, and everyone is special. My type happens to be the type that there's only 1% of. My type also happens to be the type that there are the most misconceptions about, which is kind of funny. And but I learned, and the more I learned, the more I realized, wow, there is something here. There is something really mysterious, but also like very real here. Then I started learning about neutrinos, which are the building blocks of human design. I started learning about the I Ching, which is part of human design, one of the foundational systems that human design is built on. I started learning about the connection between the 64 hexagrams of the I Ching and the human genome sequence. They match perfectly. It's crazy. Things that the ancients knew about life, that modern science is literally just discovering for the first time. And so, naturally, I was like, okay, well, Cap, where's the BS? What God do I have to believe in? Like, where's the who's teacher? Which teacher do I have to like worship or whatever? I attempted to break human design. That's what I do with everything, I realized, my entire life. And then I learned more about my human design. I said, oh, that's why I'm always attempting to break things against the truth, right? I don't believe that your truth, her truth, my truth exists. I believe I have an experience. I believe there's something that feels true for me, but that what feels true for me might not necessarily be truth with a capital T. It might not be something that can be validated by other people. And when it comes to living in shared realities, that to me is very important, because there are a lot of people who live in their own little world of delusion, and it hurts them, it hurts other people, and I'm not about that. And so I do my best to share tools with people that help them to see the world that they're living in and see their experience of the world that they're living in. That's how I was introduced to human design. He got right into it today. That's cool. You're welcome. Yeah, like that's one of the things about human design is once you're introduced to it, that's different than you actually stepping into your journey with human design. Does that make sense? Like you learning about human design, that it exists, is not the same as you actually attempting the experiment. And the experiment with human design is really simple. It's literally just, hey, this is your body graph. This is how you were designed. And if you experiment with living the way that you're designed, what you might experience is that you've been living opposite of the way that is actually natural for you, that is inherent for you, which would be the equivalent of a fish constantly judging themselves because they are unable to fly like a bird, never realizing that it's because they're a fish. That's why you're not able to fly like a bird, because you're a fish. And so we all have our own unique little nuances to ourselves that if when we learn to embrace them, life just life stops fighting you because you stop fighting life. Ego manifester here. If I feel a strong desire but I get rejected, do I keep pushing or redirect? Redirect. Here's the thing about manifestors and rejection. Rejection is people telling you that, not that your ideas are not good. It's rejection is people telling you that they're not interested in moving forward with that initiation. To which degree you do keep pushing, but you push in a different direction, right? Like one of the greatest examples I have is if I give two people the opportunity to win a contest, and the contest is to show me the ace of spades, right, in a deck of cards, and I give one person a pencil and a piece of paper, and I say, you draw me the ace of spades. The other person, I give them a deck of cards. I say, you find me the ace of spades. Whoever can show me the ace of spades first wins. Who do you think is going to win? Correct, the manifestor. Yes, indeed. The manifestor is going to win. Because it's easier to accept that, oh, this person doesn't want to do that, right? Rather than trying to force someone to do something that they don't want to do. It takes a lot more energy to force somebody to do something that they don't want to do. It might not feel safe because you have to let go of what you want this person to do. And this person might have done that thing for you for a while, so it might not feel safe entirely. But this is where the drills from the archive come in. This is where sensory design drills come into play. Is one of the primary things that we're looking to do with sensory design is build up a tolerance to your own effort. So anytime you put effort into something, you have a tolerance. We can all push our hands together like this, but at some point, something is going to turn on in my body, in my head. It's going to say, Marco, stop doing that. It's too much effort. And I can either listen or I can push past that. The goal is to be able to consistently and safely push past those limitations, because most of the times those limitations are not actually grounded in reality. They're grounded in projection, or they're grounded in memory, not necessarily who you are today, but who you once were. Hey man, I'm having trouble with letting feelings pass through me. Like I can't let go of this anger and it's messing with my life, mate. Yeah, dude, I feel you. At first, you don't want to just try and get them to pass through you. Like you actually want to first come to terms with how you're holding on to them, where you're holding on to them. If I would have advice, I would say definitely get a sandbag. Like pressure, emotions, anger, all of this stuff, it's very often times when you learn how to deal with physical pressure, you will also learn how to deal with emotional pressure or stress or inspiration better. So it's really important that you not separate emotions from the physical body, is what I'm saying. My advice would be to come join the archive. Like, we have a whole community where we show people how to take feelings like anger or sadness or grief, and rather than just immediately like let's move this through the body, we can actually find out like what part of your body is holding on to the anger. And instead of trying to extract the anger, we can first acknowledge the anger. And this might be the challenge, is that you might have this expectation that you're supposed to allow anger to move through you. But if the anger doesn't actually help you, it's gonna, that's what it's, your anger is there to help you. Your anger is there to let you know, like, hey, something isn't the way that I want it to be. And ultimately, when you allow that anger not to move through you, but you allow that anger to exist, it starts to move through you, and you start to make different decisions. That's kind of what it's there to do. So yeah, my advice again, join our community, go through the first few layers of getting your eyes unglued from your head, building a relationship with pressure, building a relationship with heat. And that's the best place to start. Again, and pretty much everyone has to start in the same place, right? Everyone wants to think that their problems are unique, but they're not. Most personal problems are actually at a neurological problems, right? Like, oh, when you look to the right, your body thinks you're being attacked. Or when you look to the left, you feel like you're in danger. But are you actually in danger? No, it's just when you were in school or when you were a baby, you saw, some domestic violence happen out of the corner of your eye. So you decided as a kid, well, I'm never going to look over there again. That's freaking scary. As like a 4-month-old or a 6-month-old, dude. So anyway. That's what I would say. Come join, my friend. I will look into the community. Yes, dude, look into it. It's, guys, 7-day free trial. You can spend $3 and do the standard membership and just like see what it's like. Again, we did our best to make this affordable, but also it's like when you come and see what this is and you actually do the drills, and then you actually recognize how much it would cost you to learn this stuff on your own. Like, me and my partner collectively have spent over 20 years of combined experience learning and sifting through this stuff so that you guys don't have to spend thousands of dollars and thousands of hours figuring this out on your own. And even at that point, there's certain things that we can't teach you because we don't have access to your organs. We don't have, I can see the strain on your face, but I can't necessarily feel the strain in your lungs or in your ribs. I can just read the signals. But it's not for me to become an external authority and become your teacher. Like, your body is here to teach you. Sensation is here to teach you. And so anyway, link is in the bio. For FOMO, you have to start practicing JOMO, right? The mind is a wonderful thing, but it tends to focus on the things that are wrong. And, right? Like, oh, I'm missing out on these things. But what are you gaining by missing out on those things? Time to sleep, discipline, health, whatever it is. It's important. Like, learn how to experience the joy of missing out. What is it that, in missing out on that, what is it that you're actually gaining by missing out on that? Because again, when you ask yourself, like, when you live your entire life based off of what other people are saying is fun or what other people are saying is good for you, and then you start to live life on your terms more so, one of the first things that happens is you realize how much you've been living life on other people's terms. You realize how used to that you are, and despite how detrimental that may be, you realize how comfortable that is. And that is a very uncomfortable place to be. And the goal is not to make that a comfortable place. Like, the goal is to build a resilience to discomfort, build tolerance, which means being able to endure discomfort. Doesn't mean it's comfortable. It just means you're not a little mushy ball of clay. And again, guys, if you think this is cool, please come check out the community, because my teacher is an absolute freaking genius. Cody, what's up, playo? Me hypnotizes, yes. And that's it. Jomo. Yeah, Jomo is one of the greatest things. Like another thing, it's a Jomo. When I found out I was going to be a dad, I was very scared. I was not ready for it. I didn't want to become a dad. I didn't think that I was good enough. And there were also a lot of things that I still wanted to do as a person without children. Because I know, oh, when I have children, I'm going to be there for them. And right now, I live my life based off of what I want to do. And I was attached to that. I would be up late at night thinking about, oh man, if I had only made this decision, then I wouldn't be missing out on the life that I had thought I wanted. And so I was fantasizing about all of the alternate realities, which is similar to Jomo, right? I'm not being present with the reality that I'm at, or the present reality that I'm in is so disassociated with the present reality that I'm in, which is basically the same as not being present. Mondays and Thursdays. Mondays at 2 p.m. Hawaii time. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then Thursdays at 5 p.m., 5 a.m. They're also all recorded and they're based off the transits. So, anyway, instead of fantasizing about the things that didn't happen, I started to catastrophize the things that didn't happen. I started to think, oh, well, actually, if I didn't have children, I probably would have ended up getting jumped and harassed by a group of vagabonds that didn't like me because I had nice hair. I would have gotten a girl pregnant that doesn't live in a way that's aligned with the way that I live. I might have taken the wrong substances and expired before my time. I started to catastrophize the things that I was fantasizing. And you know what it did? It made me start to glorify the reality that was in. So it's kind of, again, the mind is powerful. What you choose to focus on is. Most people do not have the ability to focus on something that's actually helpful for them. They tend to focus on the thing that's not helpful for them. And this is classic manifestation 101, right? If you're like, oh, I'm manifesting no bills, well, then it's an absolute. You're thinking about bills, you're manifesting bills. Whether it's, I know, but I said I don't want bills. No, there is no like that negation. What do you want? I'm manifesting checks in the mail. Okay, great. I'm manifesting my bank account going up. Okay, great. That's one of the first layers that you have to go through. The next layer is attaching actual emotion to it. And one of the best ways to attach emotion to something is to engage physically with it. So if you're expecting checks in the mail and you're physically doing things that would bring you checks, that creates greater expectation, that creates energy. I need to manifest tonight in my sleep. Yes. It's like every time you go to sleep, you manifest the morning until you don't. Which, that's a trippy thing, right? Like, one day you're going to go to sleep and you're not going to wake up in the body that you're in. I think about that a lot. I was taught to pray before going to sleep, and there's a line in the prayer around, and if I die before I wake, I pray the Lord my soul to take. This concept of like a soul or something more divine or cosmic or more immortal than our physical bodies or our mind. Beautiful thing. Beautiful thing to ponder. It is what it is till it ain't. Yeah, exactly. So one of the best ways to manifest as well is to write it down. I'm so happy and grateful that XYZ. I feel that peace in my body. But again, if you don't feel that peace in your body and you're manifesting peace in your body, one of the first things that you have to confront is how unpeaceful you feel in your body. Things in the physical reality have to be addressed. You use the mind to discover what they are, but then you have to be present for the sensation, and you have to build a tolerance, a degree of patience. Man, super quiet on TikTok today. Probably because the name of my live is You're Awesome, but Bessem and Michelle, thanks for being in here with me. This is going to be a short live anyway. I've got a call in a little bit here. Late night lives, you know how it is. Yeah, I've been getting into the late night lives recently. It's been pretty fun. If anything, you can just come for the ASMR of all the frogs chirping. Do you have advice on detaching from old lovers where you have witnessed that your lifestyles are not aligned? Yeah, move away. No. I mean, yes and no. Like, one of the hardest things that you can do is if you like really want to radically sell all your shit. That's why people go to Bali and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Because it's such a freaking radical pattern to interrupt. But when it comes from detaching from old lovers, one of the first things you have to do is recognize the utility of being attached to them. What is it that they did for you? What needs were you not fulfilling for yourself that they were fulfilling for you? And then how did that prevent you from actually achieving the things that you desire in terms of a harmonious relationship, or a congruent, or at least parallel, or at least similar, or at least harmonious and complementary lifestyles? That's the first thing. But the next thing also is having the discipline to actually sever the tie and break the bond. Right? Like, realize that people that practice non-attachment oftentimes are not really practicing anything at all other than numbing out. The difference between practicing non-attachment and practicing attachment and detachment is like practicing a shallow breath of, oh, I'm never going to take a lover deeply because I'm practicing non-attachment, which might be fine, versus I'm going to love deeply and then detach. It's just, again, practicing non-attachment a lot of the times is just the way that people avoid having to do some of the deeper work. I just have you on in the background, Scarlett. Oh my God, Scarlett. If any projectors are in this live, you guys need to follow Scarlett Songs. She's one of my faves. And she has the voice of an angel also. Tear the soul contract, honey. Oh yeah. Like, that's, I mean, read the contract first before you tear it up. You know what I mean? It's important to know what you agreed to at first before you destroy the thing. Daily check. I love it. I love it. That's called doing a geographical in the 12-step program. Ah, yes. That's rather cool. I like it. Yeah, dude, Arbor, I like it too. But they went to sleep very early tonight, so this is what I do when I get a night to myself. I have work also that I'm doing. Any advice for projectors who want to manifest? Is that really possible? Yes. I feel like I have it at times, but manifest friends make it seem so much easier. Yeah, so you're not designed to constantly be manifesting. This is the thing about a projector. If you were projectors that are attempting to manifest constantly are exhausted. Exhausted. The best way I can put this is like, you're not necessarily here to play the basketball game, you're here to coach the star players on the basketball team. Doesn't mean you can't play also, but it means that your energy is not necessarily the forward. You're not necessarily the one scoring, you're the one helping set up the scores, or you're the one refining the way that the team scores. It's super important for projectors to let go of the glory around manifestation, because oftentimes that has them manifesting a lot of the things that they don't actually want to manifest. So learn how to chill out. Manifest in your own world, meaning like if you want to learn something or do something, go do it. When it comes to working with other people, wait until there are people that recognize and invite you. That's the main thing. And so a lot of the time for a projector, success comes by way of learning how to wait for people who actually can recognize you and recognize and acknowledge you and invite your genius forward. R2D2, I love the name. Welcome to the live. It's hard to read the contract if you're not practicing meditation, but if you need to reconnect with the person, new contract will have just turn it. Yeah. Meditation helps, but also sensory training and functional training to me are key. Like, you can do meditation a lot, but a lot of the time it's people are just disassociating when it comes to meditation, because meditation is literally getting your mind to return to its natural state, which instead of being centrifugal, which is from the center going outward, the mind actually can go centripetal. It can go in on itself. And so meditation is important, but also moving and feeling is very important, especially as a human being. I would also say that in terms of meditation, a lot of people, in my opinion, are totally doing it wrong. Like, guided meditation to me is not meditation. It's different. It's like it's a guided experience. It's not necessarily meditation. But meditation is very important. I just advocate for silent meditation because I think silent meditation is the real meditation. And in terms of being lonely, dude, like, this is the thing. If your fear of loneliness is the only thing standing between you and living the life of your dreams, your goal should be to overcome loneliness. Your goal should be able to find peace within the loneliness. So what do I do if I feel I'm meant to be in this area? There's a part of me that wants to run away to where I was, but I manifested a bunch of projects here. I'm in should I stay or should I go mode. So again, this is a question that, if we were doing a one-on-one session, I would look at your body graph and I would look at what your authority is, and then I would probe your authority. I would help you to feel into what a specific organ of yours is guiding you to do. So for instance, if this was the solar plexus, I would put a sandbag on you. If you weighed 130 pounds, I would put an 80-pound, 90-pound sandbag on you, and I would sit there for 10 minutes, see how you respond to the pressure, and then I would ask you, should you leave? Should you stay? Talk to me about why you feel like you want to go. Talk to me about why you feel like you want to stay. And I would expose your inner authority, which oftentimes that is where most people are. They're looking to other people to tell them what should I do. And other people have advice because, of course, everyone wants to be the problem solver. Everyone wants to fix stuff, right? But the most important thing to remember is that if you ask other people what to do and you follow what they do and it doesn't work out, well, then you can always blame them when things don't work out. It's not exactly a risky thing, and because there's no risk involved in that, there's actually not much of a reward, which is important because the reward is you learning how to trust your inner authority. Yeah, look within. But also, like, you know, it's not some like delusional looking with like center yourself. This is so funny. I used to do a lot of men's retreats, right? And I would tell men to center themselves, and they would do this. Or, or like they would release tension from their body. And it's so important to realize that there is actually a center. Like if you ask me to center myself, here's what I would do. What I'm doing is I'm consolidating the tissue around my spine. I'm getting lungs and heart. I'm getting shoulder blades and ribs. I'm getting everything to compress around my center, and then I'm relaxing at that center. It's a physical thing. It's not not an energetic thing. I mean, it is an energetic thing, but anyway, I've had to self-isolate to remove negative influences in my life. That is a part of it sometimes. I'm blessed for the opportunity to learn more about myself, yet the loneliness is suffocating. Yeah. Well, that's my family saying goodnight to each other. Yeah, loneliness is suffocating, but you know what is even worse than being suffocated by loneliness? Being surrounded by people and still feeling lonely as fuck. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about, right? Being in a crowded room, being in a group of people, and feeling like they don't get you because they never see the real you, because you're afraid to share the real you because you never practice being you. Boom, bop, boom, beep, boom, bop, bam. Dropping the heat. Living in a trap, a gilded cage. That's exactly it. It's again, guys. It's so important to just recognize that most of the things we've been taught about what we should be doing is literally just people who are not actually doing the things that they know they should be doing, but they're doing something that is socially or sexually acceptable or celebrated, and now they're just getting their bag. Straight up. Most of the economy is based off of, well, you don't feel pretty enough, so here, wear this makeup. Well, you don't feel good enough, so here's, have this car, have this thing. It's all based in the appearance of success or the appearance of peace or the appearance of satisfaction, as opposed to the actual experience of it. And so this is where, and I'm open to being wrong about this, but this is where we're different. Our community is not looking to measure success with metrics that are inherently unnatural. That's it. Can self-isolate you. Yeah, you guys can come isolate in the archive. You know what I mean? Like, we have a community. There's 5,000 people in our community, and it literally feels like a family. It's one of the coolest things I've ever experienced. And again, it is because I set standards in my life, and I found the courage. Like, I found the courage. There was fear there, but I also found the courage to just like actually hold the standard of the things that I wanted to see in the world. And it works. It works really well. And it's not until you let go of people in your life and you start to confront the loneliness that you actually start to make space for people who are harmonious for you. It's like if you have a bed and there's all these pillows on the bed, or a couch and there's all these pillows on the couch, and every time people come over, you're like, hey, you want to sit on the couch? Or, why does no one sit on my couch? It's because you got so many freaking pillows on the couch, and you have to let them go. I appreciate the offer, learning who I am, just besides mom. Oh, big time for moms as well. Like we have things in the archive called quick drills. They're like literally 15-minute drills that you can do that will drop you into your body, make you feel embodied. It will allow you to feel yourself beyond mom, beyond words. It will just allow you to feel like your heart beating. Like your heart is beating right now. Most of the people are not aware of it. Your nose is smelling things. Most people are not aware of it. Every time you swallow, your ears are repressurizing, adjusting to the pressure that is most appropriate in the room that you're in. Most people aren't aware of that. The more aware of that you become, that's what embodiment is, becoming aware of my experience in my body. So rather than being like, I wouldn't consider myself an angry person. Do I feel anger? All the freaking time. I have a toddler, dude. I feel anger a lot, but I'm not an angry person. I'm a person that experiences anger. Anger in my body feels like an explosion. It feels like disrespect. It feels like if I don't check this right now, at some point in the future, this is going to become problematic for me. And I've seen my anger come out. Thankfully, it's never come out on my daughter in any kind of like heinous way. But anger is very destructive if you don't acknowledge it, if you don't see it as a technology. Anger is here to let me know, oh, I want my daughter to be more respectful. Okay, well, how do I earn my daughter's respect? What am I doing that is disrespecting myself, that is creating a space for her to be disrespectful for me? Again, I'm learning a lot, especially as a parent. I don't claim to have all the answers, but what I do know is how to handle pressure, and when emotions rise up in me, I don't explode on people, even though I think I should, right? I feel it in my body. It's very intense, but I know how to ride those waves out. How do you deal with the chaos of social media? Practice, dude. Like I remember when people used to post stuff like, "Oh, this is BS," or like I'd post things and they wouldn't get views, and I'd be like, "I worked really hard on that." I built a tolerance to it. I built tough skin. Like, if you have no haters in your life, it means you're not really doing anything. You're not really being yourself. Inherently, we've been taught to hate things that are different because it means survival. But in a world where everyone is craving to be celebrated for themselves as an individual, only the people that are willing to build a tolerance to the hate and projected dissatisfaction or frustration or anger that people have within them, they're projecting that onto you. The chaos of life. Look at the ocean, deep underwater. There could be a storm going on above, but deep underwater, you just have to learn how to get deeper. Like, one of the most important things that we have to realize about spirituality is that ascending is not the goal. You can see, it's funny, you can actually see it right now. There's a huge wave of like Gen Zers that are look maxing and trying to ascend. They're trying to get to their perfect aesthetic, right? They're bone smashing, they're getting jaw surgeries, they're taking, pharmaceuticals to attempt to make themselves more socially and sexually appealing. It's the opposite, dude. It's the opposite. And for those of us that are, a little bit older, we know how fruitless that endeavor is, right? We know there's literal conditions that are caused a lot of the time by like plastic surgery and stuff like that. And so it's not about ascending, it's actually about descending. It's actually about getting deeper into your body, embracing more of the shadows, embracing more of the things that make you unique and different. That is to me the thing that we need to work on. The acceptance of like being this omniscient presence, right? A creator consciousness inside a body that is limited, a form that is limited. My children are university doing well. Their father says, "What are you? Should have known I'm proud. I just have to find me." Yeah. One thing about breathing too is like, don't forget to smell. Life is sensory. One of the things about being, I would say, one of the strangest phenomenons that I've observed with my partner is how when she is attempting to be a good mom, how disconnected from pleasure and satisfaction she is. And she's very focused on like doing the right thing for our children. And she's very disconnected from her body and what actually feels um, nourishing for her. And when she shifts into that, I see so much support in myself. I see so much support in our children. And again, I'm not a woman, so I'm talking about the observations that I've seen. But one of the things that as a mom is so important to reclaim is sensation, is the ability to feel pleasure again. And I don't mean pleasure of like erotic pleasure. I mean the pleasure of like smelling a rose and it just smells so good that you got to smell it 5 or 6 times. Because immediately one of the things that I see again with the mothers in my life, smell something beautiful, taste something beautiful. Oh, honey, here, you got to try this. This, you will love this. Is so, they want to share it with others. And it's like, I love that, but also, especially if you have daughters, right? Like we have daughters. And when my partner is fully enraptured in like being, playing in the river or gardening or doing that stuff, my daughter, the one that's old enough, will like want to do that too. Like children are learning so much from us, and when we really follow our inner authority in terms of what's important to us, what brings us joy, what brings us satisfaction. And again, like when I say satisfaction, I'm not talking about like scrolling on videos and hearing satisfying sounds. One of the reasons why ASMR is so popular is because people want distractions from the taste of their own breath, from the sound of their own voice, from the smell of their own odor. They want distractions. And they're getting it in the same form that their voice shows up in, that their appearance shows. Well, it's because that is the way we distract ourselves from our own beauty. Learn how to tolerate the sound of your own voice. If you don't like the way your voice sounds, record yourself. Like, learn how to tolerate yourself. Lock yourself in your room with your emotions and learn how to tolerate your emotions. Or buy a sandbag. Put the sandbag on top of you. Let yourself get angry. Learn how to tolerate yourself. By tolerate, what I mean is how to put effort into something, right? How to put effort into something. And when I say tolerate it, this is me putting effort into like doing a bicep curl. Okay. Now this is me building tolerance. Everyone needs to see how much effort I'm putting in. I wasn't doing that. But then no one will see how much effort I'm putting in. No one fucking cares. No one actually cares how much effort you're putting in. People are impacted though by the amount of effort that you put in. Self-isolation has been teaching me to tolerate myself. Yeah. And sometimes self-isolation is a trap. I'm very flip-floppy, you guys. If this is your first time seeing me and you're like, man, this guy really just is a contrarian, kind of, yeah. I need a sandbag or to buy buried in sandbags. I'll change my name to Ashley Sandbags. It's hilarious. Ashley Sandbags. Oh my god. Um, oh, that's hilarious, dude. Oh my goodness. Too funny. For those reading the comments, I'd love to know who we all are, age, gender, location, and reason for being here. Oh, that could be fun. If you feel like sharing, go ahead. mom of a 5-year-old girl. Yes. Where my moms and dads at? Oh, I gotta go pretty soon, guys. I got my call coming up. I never get mad at my baby, and I really talk about it. It feels physically impossible, but it makes me feel bad. So instead of my husband, I see him, I'm on the edge all the time. Dude, if you want your relationship to improve, I tell you, one of the greatest things that you can do for yourself is build a relationship with physical pressure. That's physical pressure. That's physical pressure. Right? Like, learn how to tolerate pressure. This is also really good for getting into your parasympathetic nervous system, specifically the head turns. I would say as well, again, guys, I have a whole community. I haven't mentioned it in a little bit, but I have a whole community where this is our main focus. How do I stop being on edge with my husband? You can literally post that in the community, and people will be like, hey, I did these exercises and it felt great, and I'm not as angry as my husband. Then someone else will post, whoa, I did these exercises, which is different than the ones that you were doing, but they also helped me not be so mad at my husband. You have to find something that works for you. You have to experiment. You have to see for yourself. But that's great that you have the awareness. Oh, 007, appreciate you. Yeah, I do my best to uplift and remind people of the hope. Pleasant surprises, right? Pleasant surprises. I use a lot of humor, but I also am like really obsessed with actual science. I really encourage the perspective that we all share a reality together, and it's so important for us to live in a shared reality. But that the shared reality is improved by all of us being connected to what in human design we call inner authority. Ashley Sandbags, who's your favorite musician? Missouri, man, we got people all over the place. Moms, let's go. Moms. Is human design based in something like esoterims? No, so human design is basically a composite or a mix of astrology, the chakra system, Kabbalah, and astrology, the chakra system, the Kabbalah, and the I Ching. A lot of different tools, basically. I don't know the Dead Milkmen, but that sounds like a vibe. Do I know AJJ? I do not. I know JJK. I'm a big anime fan. Tool is lit. I love Tool. I remember I was in a humanities class, which is a combination of like the subjects of English and history at the high school that I went to. And he introduced me to Tool. He's my teacher. It was awesome. Yeah, and science is great. Like the actual scientific method is so beautiful because it's literally experiment, right? Have a baseline experiment, a controlled experiment, and have variations of that experiment. Look at your findings, disprove your theory, and if you can't disprove it, hand it to somebody else, see if they can disprove it. And if they cannot disprove, it's called a hypothesis. If they cannot disprove your hypothesis, we pass it around and we all try and break it. And if we can't break it, then we call it a theory. Until we can actually break it, right? That's what we operate off of. The problem is that oftentimes our data set or the way that we run the experiment is we didn't think of everything. Or we were thinking so much about one thing that we didn't think about that thing. Master of Science here. Oh, goodness. I'm getting drilled. But you know what I'm talking about, though, right? You have a Master's of Science, and you know that there are scientists out there that are taking, hey, here's $1 million of funding. Feed your family, feed your children. Don't talk about this data set right here. That makes us look not good. You can find that community via the link in my bio. If you're not following me already, by the way, guys, I put out a lot of great stuff, or so I've been told, or so I believe myself to be putting out great stuff. Um, it's free to follow me. The community is a paid community, and we have a 7-day free trial, and we also have a preview kind of membership. Standard membership is $3. So affordable. It's crazy. What has been the subject on which you have been most curious about lately? Fatherhood, probably. That's like the biggest overarching, but also AI. I cannot escape AI. I work in social media, and I see AI stuff all the time, and I feel like most in most cases, people are totally missing the point of AI and what it's how it can benefit us. And I believe that that is a reflection of generally the way that humanity is designed to experience new technology. I feel like, again, technology, money, it's just going to make you more of what you already are. So if you're addicted to something, it's going to make you really addicted to something. If you're a saint or a good person, it'll make you a saint. If you're a bad person, it'll make you a tyrant. And no one can escape AI. Yeah, I genuinely think there's a way to work with it where you don't completely lose yourself. This is one of the reasons why I actually sort of came out of my woodworks to actually start helping people with their bodies and with the things that I'm aware of, because the temptation to surrender your physical body and your organs to AI is so strong. Your 5-year-old loves my sacral calibrations, and she asks you to ask her and questions before bed. Dude, Sonny, that just made my night. No. I'm gonna end on that, guys. I have a call literally in 20 seconds. I love you guys. Hopefully I'll see you in our school. If not, I'll see you on one of these lives. Peace. Thanks for hanging out. Sorry, YouTubers. I really am not great at checking these comments over here.